Hello, JL76 here. Today I'm here to talk about Raspberry Pi. Now, many of you watching this video, if not most of you, will probably know what Raspberry Pi is, but for those of you that don't, just a little background on Raspberry Pi. It's a series of small single board computers developed in the UK, right here in the UK, by the Raspberry Pi Foundation to promote the teaching of basic computer science in schools and in developing countries. But many people are using this Raspberry Pi technology to build emulation systems, and that is what I'm here to talk about today. I'm not here to talk about the technology or how to build it or anything like that, because I'm not really a technical minded person, and there's plenty of YouTube videos going about for this anyways. I'm here to talk about a system I actually bought way back in December. It's just before Christmas. I think it arrived like a couple of days before Christmas, but I've been so busy, I've just not really had a chance to talk about it. I was going to do an unboxing, never get into that. It's all out of the box now, so there's no point in getting bogged down with that. What I'm going to do is talk a little bit about the company I bought it from, what services they offer, and I'm going to go through the system itself. If you've never seen the Raspberry Pi in action, I will show you that, and I will also show you a selection of games running on the system. So I bought mine from a company called Pi Retro Gaming. I'll put a link to their website below or on the screen somewhere, I don't know, you'll see it. PiRetroGaming.co.uk, I believe it is, and they offer a fantastic service. So basically, Pi Retro Gaming are there for those of us, myself included, that are too lazy to build their own Raspberry Pi setup. If you're like me, you're either lazy or you just don't have the time, you can buy this straight out of the box and it's ready to go. And they offer a lot of different products that you can buy, ranging from the cheapest, which is like the arcade box, up to the Supreme, which has got the whole lot. I'll go through all the different options actually in a minute, but the one I bought was the Extreme, and I will talk about that in a minute. Now, the guys at PiRetroGaming.com, it's actually .com, not .co.uk, as I said earlier. The guys at PiRetroGaming.com provide an excellent service. They're very hands-on. They're very helpful. If you've got any technical problems, they're there to answer them for you. They're quite interactive on their Facebook page as well, and overall they provide a good service. They've got a forum on the website which you can register for, and you can go on and get technical help with your controls and installing games and such like. But what they offer is the following. So if you've got a wee bit of spare money, I definitely recommend doing this. The more money you've got to spend, the more stuff you're going to get. But we'll go through the different options here. So the guys here at Pi Retro Gaming have got 8 different options available. I'll give you a brief summary of what is available. The cheapest option is a classic version, which costs £85. With that, you get 2 SNES controllers, 16GB of storage. The emulators on that system include SNES, NES, N64, the Mega Drive, Master System, Game Gear, Atari 2600, 5200, 7800 and Lynx, Game Boy Color and Advance, Wonder Swan and Colour, Neo Geo Pocket and Colour, and PC Engine and TurboGrafx 16. So a lot of emulators on the system there for £85, enough to keep you happy for a while. But if you want to get more, if that's not enough for you, they do have other systems, including the arcade, which is it's a tenner. You basically get all that stuff mentioned in the previous one, but you also get the MAME and double the storage. And then up to £110 you get a keyboard computer. Again, all the similar stuff. But with this you get some MS-DOS games, Atari ST, Amiga, some of the old systems like Commodore 64, Championship Manager 1 and 2, which is the main reason that I wanted to pick up one of these systems because I had an Xbox, modded Xbox before running Coin Ops, but I just didn't have a good enough solution on it for the Amiga and Football Manager games, so this really attracted me. Next one up is the Ultimate. That's 150 quid. Similar thing again, only this time you're getting two PS3 controllers rather than the SNES controllers. You can up to 64GB storage. It's all pretty much the same stuff there. You get Quake and Doom on it as well. Moving up a bracket, you also get the Extreme, which is the one I bought. It's currently £175, but when I bought it just before Christmas it was £185, so I maybe bought it at the wrong time. But the Extreme, I'll go through it exactly what it's got because this is one that I've got. So you get a wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, two PS3 controllers, 128GB storage, all the systems I mentioned previously, as well as like Spectrum, PS1 games on this one as well, Dreamcast, Scum VM, which is the kind of point-and-click adventure interface. It's such a brilliant system, and I'm going to go through the menus quickly in a moment and then show you some game footage. So just quickly to sum up, the hour options are the Superior, which is £205, which is all the same stuff as Extreme, but you get a 1TB hard disk drive with that one, and you get tons and tons of PS1, extra PS1 Dreamcast games, a system called Daphne, whatever that is, never heard of it. You get Sega CD with this one and PSP, so I kind of wished I'd saved my money and got this one actually, but I'm happy with what I've got. And then you get Supreme handheld 16GB and 120GB options, which have just recently been released. They look pretty cool. I'm not too bored about handheld because I've got a pretty hefty emulation system set up on my PSP, but for the 16GB Supreme handheld, you're paying £190 for that one, and for the 120GB one, £240, and it's a similar kind of thing to the Superior or Extreme, only it's handheld and it looks pretty cool. Okay, so here we have the system that you're presented with when you boot up the Raspberry Pi. This is the emulation station, and this is where all your consoles live. So obviously depending on the version that you get, you'll see different systems. So because I've got the Extreme version, I've got pretty much most of the systems on here, including this, my beloved Amiga, which was my home computer of choice back when I was a mid to late teenager. I remember buying one of these when I went to college off my student loan, and one of my main motivations for buying this system was getting access to games like Cannon Fodder 2, which I think was an Amiga exclusive, and of course the Sensible World of Soccer series. Now I did, as I mentioned earlier, I did have a Xbox modified with Coin Ops, but it didn't have Sensible World of Soccer on it. Me not being very good technically, I couldn't work out how to put ROMs on it, and it didn't have Cannon Fodder 2 on it either, and overall I just don't think the Coin Ops system emulated the Amiga well, so when I seen this I just had to have it. The computer version. One complaint is it doesn't have Championship Manager. I'm trying to rectify that by putting on Amiga games myself, but they're not as easy to put on as some of the other ROMs. I might do a little tutorial on adding ROMs in another video actually. But yeah, let's have a look through all the systems that we've got on here. So we were looking at Amiga there, we'll go through them. There's got arcade, all the Atari consoles, of course, 2600. 370 games available. Tells you how many games are available below it. As I said, you can add games to it if you wish. I did find a little guy. Was that Hong Kong? I thought it was Hong Kong's Cruise Cat at the top there. Yeah, you can add ROMs on it. I was in, for example, the Game Gear, which I'm coming up to now. is one of my favourite systems to emulate, and it had a few games missing, a few games you would have thought would have been on there, like Outrun and things like that. So I went to the forum on the Pirates for Gaming, got a little guide on how to add ROMs, and it was easy enough to add it, quite easy, even for somebody not technical minded like myself. So Game Gear is definitely one of my favourite systems. I didn't have a Game Gear back in the day. I did own one a few years ago. I bought one for like £25, but I found I wasn't using it for some reason. I needed the money and I sold it. So, but I find that since going through some of these games in the past few weeks, Game Gear seems to be one of the systems that I go to. It's just a brilliant little system, same as the Master System. It's very similar, in fact. It's basically a portable Master System. So those are the games, consoles I go towards: Master System, Game Gear, and Mega Drive as well. I'm not really much of a Nintendo guy. If you want to say, C loves Nintendo, so we've been playing some of the N64 games, and they're a bit slow, but that could be to do with the settings. That's something you might be able to fix the settings, and something I will look into. But remember, N64 and Dreamcast, things that are later systems, and they may run slow on these types of devices. This is one of the motivations for buying it as well, these MS-DOS games. There's not a lot there, but it's all the Championship Manager games. Seen this advertised on Facebook on Pirates for Gaming, and seen her saying that the Championship Manager 2 series on it, and I just think it's going to be awesome revisiting that. That was one of my favourite Football Manager games from back in the day. So we have the PlayStation here. Again, I've added some games to this myself because there was some that I felt that were missing. They had Gran Turismo 2 on it, but not the sim version, so I added that. Didn't have Gran Turismo on it either, so I had to add that myself. Can't even remember what other ones I added. I think I added PGA Tour 96. I think I added one of those WWF games. I think it was, I can't remember which one. I think it was the first one actually. 22nd one was already on it. Retro Pirates. So this is where you can and fiddle about with all the settings. So this is where you come to basically connect up to your Wi-Fi or an Ethernet cable to add your ROMs. There's a good guide for doing this on the Pirates for Games forums, and it's fairly straightforward. I won't go into that just now. It's something I might do in a future video. Here we're Scum VM. This is the kind of interface for the point-and-click adventures, which is one of my particular favourite genres of games. So this is brilliant to see this on here as well. I've added a few games in there. Still more that I need to add in. But Police Quest and Leisure Suit Larry were two of my favourite games back in the day. So looking forward to getting into them again. What else do we have? We've got Sega 32X. These games run pretty good. I've played a couple of these. SG-1000 is an old system. I'm not sure what this is. Was this the predecessor to the Sega Master System, perhaps? I don't even know. SNES, of course. There's plenty of games on there. 857 to choose from. Vectrex, and that's an old system. Virtual Boy, I don't really have a great interest in that. Wonder Swan and Wonder Swan Colour are pretty interesting systems. I think these are Japanese consoles. And of course the ZX Spectrum. So what I'm going to do is go through some of these systems, play some of the games just to show you how they work. I should also say you can also add your own collections. You can basically make a favourites list of all your favourite games. I've done so for adventure, football and racing games. Just to keep them all in the one place. But yeah, in a second I'm going to go through some of the systems, some of the games on the system, have a look at them running so you can see them running. Some of them run better than others, like say the newer systems like some Dreamcast and I'm just messing about some of the settings here. Yeah, Dreamcast and N64 can be a bit slower. The home computer systems such as the Amiga and Atari ST, Commodore 64, take a little bit more fiddling about. They maybe take long to load in games, you need to mess with the keyboard and such like, so I'm going to leave those to the end, and I'm going to start playing some of the easier ones to emulate, the arcade games and the Sega Mega Drive and such like. So I'm just showing you some of these settings for setting up your favourites lists, your collections, and so we'll move on to showing you some of these games. Right, so I'm going to skip the weekend for now. I'm going to come back to that. I'll go into the arcade and find a game in here. I did edit this down just for the sake of time, because I'm trying to fit as much into this video as possible without. I'm going to try to keep this under an hour here. So this is one of my favourite arcade games called Tapper. Quite an addictive little game. Basically, you've got to serve all these guys their beer before they get to the end of the counter there. And also pick up their empty glasses. And if you don't do these things, you lose a life. Now, for anybody who doesn't know how to insert a coin for these arcade games, because you have to insert a coin, not a real coin obviously, you press the select button on your controller, and that inserts a coin, and you can play the game by pressing the start button. So I'm doing pretty well here. 1800 points, and my wee character's having a little drink because he can complete the level. So that was fun. That was Tapper. I'll just quickly show you one of the other games that I used to play back in arcade myself, WWF WrestleFest. To be honest, I forget how to play it, so it's probably going to be rubbish. And I remember doing a gameplay of this a couple of years ago and done pretty decent. I was taking part in a Troopers high score. I think I was third or fourth, but that was a while ago and I forget how to play it, so this is probably going to be a rubbish gameplay. I am the Ultimate Warrior, and I think I've just thrown Hulk Hogan, so that's not a bad start. Jake Snake Roberts is having a go at me just now. Yep, he's just body slammed me. Hulk Hogan's back for revenge, and he's clotheslined me. Not so good. I'm struggling with the controls now, I must say. I just lifted up Earthquake. Strongman. Yeah, this is one of my favourite arcade games from the past, but that's enough of that. Let's move on to the Atari 2600. So many to choose from, don't know where to go. The Atari 2600 graphics are, as you can imagine, very dated indeed. But it's still fun to play them. What have we got? Track and Field. So this gives Track and Field a go. That's from 1984. That's pretty quick to load up. Just put my initials in here. GLG for GL76 Gaming. Oop, there we go. The graphics are pretty poor, but the gameplay is still pretty decent, so I think we have to dash it to tap the directional keys back and forth to build up some speed. Oh, my hands are getting knackered. My hands were getting knackered playing this game. Start to lose a bit of stamina towards the finish line. So yeah, as you can see, the Atari 2600 working decent. This is interesting. This is a Dreamcast, and you'll see from this footage that it's a bit slow, a bit jumpy. It's more so with the music, which is a shame because the music in this is brilliant. Bad Religion and Offspring. I'm sure, and I'm not looking into this myself, but I'm sure you can probably mess about the settings to get it to run better, even if you were to turn the sound off and just play the soundtrack on your hi-fi or something. I think it would probably be pretty decent if you'd done that. But this is the first time I've actually had the opportunity to play Dreamcast emulated. I've never had a Dreamcast back in the day. The gameplay itself is pretty decent. It's just the sound you can hear. I'm sure you can hear the sounds jumping. Probably to be expected, really. I think I'm probably looking to turn the sound off, and the gameplay itself might be pretty decent. Okay, so my beloved Game Gear. Not a system I had back in the day, but a system that I truly love now, and I love playing some of these games. Brilliant conversions, particularly the conversion of Road Rash. I think is pretty decent. I think I'll just load Road Rash up now in actual fact. Here we have it. Natasha, give us some advice before the race starts. Okay, here we go. So Road Rash, excuse me, one of the most iconic games from the 90s. Came out for the Mega Drive, got ported to various systems, including the Master System and the Game Gear. Road Rash 2 and 3 were exclusive to Mega Drive, but I prefer the Master System and Game Gear version. I like the Master System version for nostalgic reasons, because I had a Master System, and this is one of the games I had and loved it. But the reason I love Master System and Game Gear as well is because the games are slower than the Mega Drive version, so it's kind of easier to control your bike. When you play the Mega Drive version, you're all over the place. It's quite tricky, because the limitations of the Master System and the Game Gear, it's a bit slower. Okay, so let's have a quick look at a Game Boy game. All these old systems are going to run really well, because the games are pretty small, file size, the graphics are limited, so any decent system should be able to emulate these games, no problem at all, and they do that just fine. But when you get to the Dreamcast and N64, they're a little bit slower, shall we say. Okay, so this is Tetris on the Game Boy. Now, I'm not too good at these types of games. I don't think my brain really can get round how to play them, but I'll give it a quick go for the sake of this video. Slide that in there. Oh, where am I going to put this? Oh, I thought I might have been able to get that under that bit on the left, never mind. Where are we going to put this? We'll put this in the bottom right hand corner. A Game Boy is another one of those ones that I never had back in the day. I never really was a big Nintendo fan. Yeah, that's enough of that. Okay, Game Boy Advance. For the sake of time, I'm going to skip that. I can guarantee you that I have played some Game Boy Advance games and they work really well, so no problems with the Game Boy Advance. Master System, what will we play on here? Actually, I could probably skip the Master System because it's pretty much the same as the Game Gear and that worked well, but I'm just going to show you this game which I had when I had a Master System. It's a strange choice of game, I admit, but I always thought this game was really funny. It's just Trivial Pursuit. It's just a board game, but I just thought it had a wee bit of charm to it. The little kind of parrot or whatever that is, that's your host. It's quite funny, and he comes on and sometimes in the entertainment round and plays the piano. He plays you a tune on the piano. It's pretty funny. So hopefully we'll find a question where he actually comes out and plays the piano. Right, so we need to navigate to the pink square for entertainment. Here we go. And yay, he's got his piano out. So who marries whom? I have no idea. I don't know what that is. So this game is open to cheating. You could say yes, you got it right, but I'm going to be honest and say no. The frog marries the mouse. You can't expect to get them all right. You're too right. So that was Trivial Pursuit. Onto the Mega Drive, I'm going to show you Mortal Kombat 2 on the Mega Drive. Never was a massive fighting game fan, but this game kind of got me into the genre. I kind of read a review of it in an Amiga magazine. I think in the same episode, the same month, on, I think it was Amiga Power. They did a review of Sensible World of Soccer. That's why I bought the magazine, and this was on the front cover. So I read it and ended up getting it, and it was really good. What I loved about this game is all the kind of different things you could do at the end, like fatalities, brutalities, friendships. Here we go. Duck straight away, because you just know Scorpion's going to fire that spear at you, and always find that the uppercut is quite an effective move in this game, especially if you got it on easy level. So I managed to win that round, and on the second round, well, Scorpion didn't fire the spear at me that time. I tried a new tactic. Lucan's a character with some of the easiest moves, so I'll go him. I can never remember the finishing moves, so I'll just fire him with a fireball. So most of the consoles work, no problems there. Let's look at some of the home consoles, starting off with the Amiga, and I'm going to load up my favourite, Sensible World of Soccer here, and have a look at that. Now, some of the home computers need a little bit of tinkering before you can start them. On the Amiga here, for example, you need to set inputs here. So you change port 0 to nubs as mouse, and you set port 1 to PlayStation 3 controller. If you don't do this before you start the game, then you won't be able to control the game, and it took me a while to figure this out. I didn't actually figure it out myself. I went onto the Pirate Retro Gaming forum and found a topic there that explained this. So thankfully I got my games working. Slightly annoying, but I guess that's the nature of it. I would have liked the settings to save so that you don't have to do it every time, but as it is, you do need to do it every time, unless there's a way of doing this. But anyway, here's the game, Sensible World of Soccer. It does run okay, apart from at the start here you'll hear that the song, which I love at the start of the game, kind of gets one line into it and then resets itself, which is slightly annoying, but I'm guessing that's the ROM rather than the system itself that's causing that to happen. It's not a major issue. The game is playable, which I'm just about to show you. So I love the career mode in this. There's one that I started earlier here. Could beat 3-0 with Celtic, not cool. So I'm going to play one of the games here. I'm getting used to. I don't seem to have the same touch, but the same knack of playing this game as I did back in the day. So I think I don't know if it's just getting used to this system or not. That's another thing it does. It does that mad flashing before the game starts. It doesn't take away from the gameplay. It's just another slight annoyance. But other than that, the game works perfectly fine. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm still getting used to it. Playing it on the emulation version, so that's my excuse for getting beaten 3-0 by Celtic in the game that I did previously. So I think with a bit of practice I should get back up to speed with this one, but that works fine. So moving on to the other Sensible game, Cannon Fodder. Thankfully the song at the start, which again is a brilliant song, works perfectly fine. It's not the be all and end all of things, but I like watching these things for nostalgic reasons, and this one works fine, as does the game, which we'll see in a second. Just give you a bit of the song before I get into it. Right, so here we go. This is a little startup screen, all the little men queuing up to do their duty, and the first two guys come in, Jules and Jocks, and Mission 1, the Sensible Initiation. Love this game. I'm going to show you Cannon Fodder 2 in a minute as well. It's a jungle out there. Kill all enemies with 2 soldiers. So here we go. Playing this game with the mouse. The mouse settings I think I'm going to have to tinker with, especially when you're playing games like this, which require quick movement, and games like Lemons as well. The mouse seems to be a bit sensitive, and a bit harder to control than it should be, but I'm sure this is things that can be set up in the settings, and I will get into see if I can make it perform better. I was told as well that if you do it's control minus 5 times. It slows down the emulation, so that helps you with the control of your mouse. That's something to look at as well. But other than that, it works absolutely fine. And don't forget, if you don't want to play this game with a mouse, you can also always play the Mega Drive version, which is pretty cool as well. But because I had the Amiga and I'm nostalgic, I like to play the Amiga version. Especially seeing as Cannon Fodder 2 only came out for the Amiga as well. I think it may have come out for the PC actually, MS-DOS, not too sure. But yeah, I like to play the Amiga versions, and I'm going to be showing you Cannon Fodder 2 in a second. I think I'm just going to play through this second level here. It's just phase 1 of mission 2. You've probably seen, as I was talking there, you can split up your soldiers. So you can send one of them off on his own little mission, which is what I'm doing with Jules here. He's going off on his own little adventure, killing these guys, being brave. There's another couple, 2 or 3 guys over here need to got them. Yeah, he's dead, so I thought that was the level done, but there must be somebody else getting out still to be killed. So I might go to my other men and split one of them up again, and send him off to get the remaining enemies. So Stu, you've not done much yet. You can be in charge of getting these last guys. Where are they? Need to be careful while I'm swimming in this water, because you can't shoot a gun when you're in the water. Can't see where they are. They must be down. They must be back across the river and down a bit, perhaps. Across the bridge, I think it was safer. Oh no, they're there. Got them, and they're in the water, so they can't attack me back. And there we go. That is that phase complete. Brilliant. I think we're going to have a look at the Cannon Fodder 2 now. Here it is. Again, another new intro song, and it works perfectly well on this, thankfully. Sensible Software were well known for their catchy little theme tunes at the start of the games. I've actually interviewed John Hare, the creator of Sensible Games, a couple of years back for our podcast. It was great to speak to him. Right, so here we go. Cannon Fodder 2, I've not played this for years. And you start off in this one in the desert. Fairly straightforward mission to get you back into it. Happy days are here again. Lots of enemy soldiers. You have Jules and Jock starting off again. So most of these characters are named after the developers from Sensible Software. There's lots of crossover games for the Amiga that are on this emulator actually. This RetroPie, like Sensible Moon Soccer and Cannon Soccer, and even the demo disc Sensible Trainspotting's on it. So plenty of sensible games to get on with. Right, so let's look at some of the other systems, starting with the Amstrad CPC. And some of these different home computers act differently, if you will. The Amstrad CPC, which you're about to see, their games load up pretty quickly. I never had an Amstrad CPC, so I don't know if that was if those games loaded up quickly anyway. I'm sure they probably didn't. If they were on tape, they would have taken a bit of time. So, but on this emulation, they load up pretty quickly. But you'll see further on in the video, when it comes to Commodore 64, they take a lot longer to load up. So that's kind of pretty true to life actually. So I've picked the game Oh Mummy because it's a brilliant little game, a lot of fun, very addictive, and it gets so much harder as the levels go on. And I remember doing a high score challenge for this one a few years back, and I think I was top of the table, so always good to revisit it. So the aim of this one is to go around the maze, unlocking all the squares, and find the key and other such items to get to the next level. But the further you go on, the more mummies appear that you have to escape from, and they get faster, and their AI is for an old game like this. Their AI is so good. They seem to know where you're going to go. It's absolutely baffling how they did this with the capabilities of the hardware back then. So I'm just going to show you the first level. First level is pretty easy. You only get one mummy. You might sometimes when you go around these squares and unlock them, another mummy comes out of them, so you have to be careful of that. But at the moment, there's just one mummy. I might unlock another one in a second. So just try and avoid the mummy, unlock all the squares, and you are home and dry. Getting it. Oh, there's another mummy coming out there. See, there's two of them now. But I'm nearly finished. Just go on here and up, and then across, and that should be coming out of level 1. Just about. Good stuff. And on to this is Championship Manager 93-94, I think it is, on the Atari ST. Now I've cut out all the jiggery pokery that you need to do to get this game to work, because Atari ST is quite fiddly. Like when you play the Amiga games, if you've got multiple floppy disks, as you would have had back in the day, it loads them all up automatically. But with this, you need to actually press F12 and go into the menus and change disk. So I had to change it to disc free to load up my save game on this. So I've just edited all that out, just for the sake of time, and showing you a bit of this game. So I had picked Arsenal in my previous save game. I had made a couple of signings. Richard Gough, Rangers defender, signed Christian Vieri from whatever team he was playing for in Italy, and Nigel Clough, I think, from Nottingham Forest, who from memory was quite good in this version of the game, and that's why I signed him. And they got Orient for $3 million for the lot, so a bargain. So I'll just show you the first game. This is a friendly from Highbury against Lazio, the Italian team, who back at this time were quite a better teams in Europe. They got a goal there. Ian Wright. Richard Gough clean through. A shot saved. Why is he up front? The gameplay, the match day on this compared to Football Managers now is pretty limited. It basically just comes up saying one of your players is through in goals, and the misses it or the scores. But it's good because you can get through the games fairly quickly, get through seasons quickly. I preferred the simplicity of it back in those days. I have time, so we'll move on to something else now, I think. This is League Challenge on the Commodore 64. Now, again, I have edited this slightly just to cut out the loading time, because this one takes quite a while to load up. Emulates the loading times as well as the game. But they do work well, Commodore 64 games, and this is a game that I used to play. I had an Atari 65XE back in the days, and this is a game I played on Atari 65XE. Funny enough, the Atari 65XE is not one of the emulators, so I wonder if we can add it. That's something to look into. But yeah, this is Commodore 64 version, and this is a very, very basic football management game. You pick whatever team you want. It can be a first division team like Liverpool, but no matter who you pick, you start off in the bottom division, the fourth division, you have to work your way up. So that's my squad. Some of the English internationals from back in the day, like Peter Shorten, Terry Butcher, Kerry Dixon, David Speedy, Charles Nicholas of Scotland. Seem to just have random players of that time in my squad. Very, very small squad. I think there's only one in reserve actually. Trying to work out how to play it. I'll just try and get into the game. I think it's C to continue to the match day. So you can list players, sell players, you can go to statistics, training. Doesn't seem to be an option there for buying players. Maybe that comes later. Maybe defence is pretty similar. Midfield slightly worse off than Stockport. Stockport got a much better attack. or they'll be much fitter. Going in those stats, it's likely that Stockport are going to beat me. Their midfield's too strong. So this is the little. I wonder if this is where Football Managers, the current version of it, got their ideas from, the 3D pitch, or 2D pitch I should say. Stockport already won 1-0, not a major surprise. All the players are the same colour for both teams. Stockport get another goal, so 2-0, expected result, that's fine. And it shows you the league table at the end of the game. Cool couple of 4-1 victories there for Mansfield and Southend. So at least they won't be bottom of the table quite yet, due to my superior goal. Oh, I'm up in 4th. 12. Anyway, what else can I show you? I'm going to show you the MS-DOS in particular. Championship Manager 2, which is one of the major reasons for buying this console. Now I'm going to load up a game that I've previously created, because this takes an absolute lifetime to start a new game. It really does take a long time. It must be about half an hour. Don't worry about these pink menus. Once you click on whatever version of the game you want to play, it goes normal. It has got a data editor as well, which I've not looked at. But yeah, as I was saying, it takes an absolute age to load up. In fact, even when you load a save game, it takes a little while, so I'm going to kind of edit this down so we can get into the game. So GL76 Fitba, I've called it that because I've got another channel that I've not made public yet. It's called GL76 Fitba, which is just all going to be football related games. So here we have my squad. We're coming up to a European game, prelim round against Ferencváros, I think, of Hungary. Tough game for the qualifier. Away from home first. So I'm just going to show. I'm not going to show this whole game. I'm going to edit it down just a little bit, just to give you the gist of it. This was a really good game. In fact, you'll see in a second. In fact, right now, that Ferencváros have taken the lead. Not the best news, but I'm away from home, so I thought to myself, if I keep that tight, we'd be alright. But we got a goal back, and then they scored again, so it was 2-1. And then they got another one, so not looking good. I have got the away goal, but I would have preferred to have a couple of away goals at least to take back to Ibrox. And you'll see in a minute that Ferencváros decided to go more defensive, which prompted me to then go into my tactics and just go for it. Just change it to a more attacking formation, same formation but attacking version of it, and then change up to long ball. You'll see that I'm making changes just now. The mouse maybe needs a bit tweaked as well in the settings for this, so this is things that hopefully can be changed. But there we go, 5-3 to attacking long ball. Try and nick that away goal to take back to Ibrox. There's a lot less tactical options back in the days of Championship Manager. So we really piled the pressure on in these last 10 minutes. We totally pummeled them, and we got another away goal, as you can see, the Italian Sergio Pedrini getting on the score sheet. His teammate Marco Negri also getting, Italian teammate I should say, getting on the score sheet as well. And yeah, I think this is how it ended, but we totally piled the pressure on towards the end of this game, and I was hoping we would get a third goal and take that 3 each draw back to Ibrox, but that just didn't happen. But I'm confident that in the return leg I can hopefully, even if we won 1-0, that'll be enough to get us through. Back in these days as well, we had all 3 European competitions. We had the European Cup, the UEFA Cup, and the Cup Winners' Cup, and I liked that setup. I really wish they'd bring the Cup Winners' Cup back. I preferred it the way it was. I'm pretty old-fashioned, especially seeing as Rangers are former winners of the Cup Winners' Cup in 1972. Yeah, but we're coming to the end of this. I've got another couple of things to show you, and then I'll sum up as well. After this, fact, let's have a look at the stats. I must have been all over them. 14 shots on goal, 12 corners, and more possession. But yeah, here's. I'm just going to show you one of these games working on the Scum engine. Police Quest 1, the VGA version. I'll let that play as a sum up. The system is brilliant, it's well worth the money. The guys provide great support. There's a brilliant community on the forum, and it's definitely a purchase I'm glad I made. There's some bit tweaking to do for certain systems, especially when it comes to like mouse speeds and like sound and things like that. But the older consoles work brilliantly, and the home computers and some of the newer ones need a bit of work. But overall, it's an absolutely brilliant system, and I can't recommend it enough. I obviously recommend, if you've got the money and the space, to buy the actual collect the actual games, but unfortunately I had to downsize after moving from a house to a flat, so this is my solution for playing all old games. It's a real space saver, and an all-in-one system is definitely the way forward. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to be making some more videos following on from this, like videos for certain systems, like the compilations of games for certain systems, and maybe some tutorials as I go on as well. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.